Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the world famous Jonesy and Brown show. It is me, your bull Brown. Mike Jones will be along a little bit later. Going to talk to him about a lot of things because this has been a terrible week at Philly sports. We're going to talk about all of that later on. But for now, we got to get ready to try and hopefully change our fortune, hopefully change things around. I don't know if that's going to happen, but the Eagles are playing on Sunday. They do travel to Minnesota to take on the Minnesota Vikings. So we need to talk about that. So for the next few minutes, I'm going to talk to my man Rap from the Vocal Vike podcast. Rap was good, brother.
Man, how you doing, man? I'm feeling good today, on this good old Friday. I appreciate you having me on, though, man, for sure. I'm looking forward to the conversation.
All right. Well, you are the host of the Vocal Vike podcast. Tell us about that. What is the Vocal Vike podcast?
It's where, Vikings fans come. We have us a pretty decent community over there where we just come together. We talk Vikings football. I mean, it's fun. That's just really what it is. It's all purple and gold, everything over there, where we just kind of talk about the team throughout the week. We take a little different approach as far as not so much trying to be the first to break news or anything like that. We kind of just give our opinions on the news, even if it's a week old. Like, we just have open conversation, and I tend to let the viewers call in and be active. I always say be vocal, get vocal. That's kind of the slogan there. So, that's just pretty much what it is, the Vikings podcast. Let's go.
I like it. How long have you been doing this?
So I've been doing this since 2023, I'm sorry, 2022, February 9th, 2022. So, it's going on 3 years, or it's been 3 years and some change. So, it's been a journey, but a fun one. I'll say that. I appreciate our community. I feel like our community is one of the best. I know that's kind of cliche, but hey, I really trust our community, man, and they make it worthwhile. So time has flown by, to be honest with you. For 3 years that already passed. It's like, dang, I feel like I started yesterday,
Nice. Now you're originally from New Jersey, correct?
Right. So I was born in New Jersey. Yep. Right. That's where.
What part of New Jersey? North Jersey or South Jersey?
Asbury. Yeah. Asbury Park. Yep. So, and then I winded up, and now I'm in Charleston, South Carolina. That's where I reside. That's kind of where I resided for a while here. And I know you're gonna ask me about my ties to Minnesota and how I became a Minnesota Vikings fan.
That's kind of interesting. I would like to see how that kind of plays out.
Yeah. So, and it's crazy because a lot of my family up there, they're either Philly fans or, they're either Eagles fans or they're Giants fans. You know what I'm saying? My mom's is a Jets fan, believe it or not, which is crazy. She had to go against the grain. She like, everybody want to pick, I'm going with the Jets. So,
goodness. How's she liking that choice?
She ain't liking it at all.
How's that working out for her?
Not good. You know what I mean? Not
buyer's remorse.
Yeah, for sure. But it is what it is. She ride for him, and that's cool. How I became a Vikings fan was when I was 10 years old, just watching Randy Moss. I wanted to be like him. So it really just started out as him being my favorite player. He was just a player. It was a player thing. It wasn't so much about the team. Like, I didn't care what team he was on. It's just like, who is that guy, number 84 right there, catching over 3-4 people at a time and just out there balling, and I wanted to be like him. So, he was kind of my idol at the time. And then after the second year of just pretty much supporting him, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to buy, because I was only watching him. I would wait till Sundays to watch Randy Moss. So obviously by doing that, I catch myself watching the Minnesota Vikings. So it's just like, you know what? I might as well just go ahead and lock in. I'm just going to be a Vikings fan. Let me just start supporting the team. And then I started just getting into more of, all right, who's the quarterback? All right, who's the cornerback? Who's the safety playing? What's this guy and that guy's name? And then, just started finding that true love. It took a couple years to really build it. Like, it was a process of really buying into the Minnesota Vikings and not just buying into Randy Moss. But once I was in, and just never turned back.
Now, when you were a fan of Moss, did you get in at the very beginning of his career, or was it pretty much Moss and Culpepper? Like, were you able to watch and appreciate the Moss, Randall Cunningham years?
I was not. It was Culpepper. Yeah,
Okay.
it was Culpepper. So, but it was still some good years. It was still some good years. You know, we still had something to work with there. Super exciting. So I don't take it for granted, man. I feel like I almost became, which is crazy, because I almost we had this thing, me and my friend. This is a cool story here of how God works in a way, right? Where we went to this place called CC's Pizza in Charleston. I'm sure, I don't think they have them up north, matter of fact. But do you have CC's? You ever heard of CC's Pizza?
I have heard of it. I'm not sure. I don't know where one is.
It's like a buffet. It's like a buffet for pizza, right? They got pudding, pizza, everything you can do.
Yep.
So they had these. This is when those little football mugs were popular. The little miniature coffee mugs that were in the gumball machine.
Yep.
And me and my partner were there, and you know we're I don't know, 10, 11, right? And we're like, hey, listen, whatever team we spin out here, this is the team we gonna support for the rest of our lives. Like we kind of much just made a bet right there. Like we no turning back. Whatever team we spin. Crazy thing, I put the quarter in. I actually get the Vikings, which is crazy, right? This is after I already been supporting Moss too. But I was willing to switch my team no matter what the cup I got, right? And that's how I picked my fandom, which is crazy to think about. But then my partner, he wound up getting the Redskins. And still to this day, he's a diehard Redskin. I mean, diehard, you know? So
you need better friends, bro.
Yeah, man.
You need better influences, man.
Yeah. That's crazy to think about, man, how that worked out that day, man. So, you know, it was meant for me to be a Vikings fan, to say the least.
I hear you. And then here you are now hosting the Vocal Vike podcast, man.
Yeah.
Look, let's get into this game for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
This is, I guess, Sunday in Minnesota. This is your first actual home game in about a month.
Yep.
You know, y'all been playing overseas, playing in other countries. Now, how starved is this team for some home cooking?
Man, I think we pretty starved. You know, the last time we were at home, I was actually at did we play the Bengals at home? Matter of fact, I'm sorry, because we did play the Bengals at home. I was thinking like, dang, last time we were home, I was in the building and it wasn't nice. But you know, I think we're ready. I think it's needed to be back home, being that we had to play 2 games back to back across the pond. I don't know why the NFL did that to us, but they did. And the good thing is we were able to come out of that thing 1-1 instead of 0-2 being over there. So I'll take it. I would much rather 2-0 coming from over there, but it is what it is. But I think the fans are excited. Our fan base is super excited about getting back in the bank and representing. So I think it's gonna be a loud game. I'm gonna tell you that the game gonna be loud. Our crowd, man, our fan base, we turn it up in there, man. That's a fact. We get loud. So I think it's important, man.
All right. Well, look, it is looking like you guys are gonna have Carson Wentz behind the center on Sunday.
Yep.
You guys are about 2-1 with him. But this is probably his biggest test so far this season. What is your confidence level in Carson Wentz as a quarterback?
It's about 60%. Like if we're doing a scale 1 to 100, it's 60. All right. Okay. Like I think there will be some type of motivation behind this game, being that it's against you guys, right? He grew up a Vikings fan. Like this is the team he grew up with, is coming up from where he came up from in North Dakota, all that stuff. A lot of those people are Vikings fans in that area. So, you know, this is something where he gets to play for his childhood team, but he gets to play against a team that believed in him and drafted him, but also let him walk right out the door just based off an injury in a way, you know, just can never bounce back from it. So there may be some type of trying to seek revenge in there. So I'm going to give him a little bit there, but I will say I'm not a huge Carson Wentz fan though. So like, I'm not out here jumping on the Wentz train. Oh, he's about to, you know, resurrect his career. None of this, that, and the third. I think he's suited up to play maybe a slightly above average football game.
Okay. What? I know that Jefferson has been injured. Been battling some injuries. Thought he might be able to come back this week, but it looks like they're going to keep him on the bench.
How about JJ McCarthy?
Yeah. Yep. But at this point in his career, what does Carson Wentz bring to your team?
He brings experience. I mean, I think that's the best word right there. Is he brings some experience. I mean, that you can't take away. That's one thing you can't take away from him. Is he's been in the league a while. What 2016 is when he got drafted. 2017, in that range. So he's been around. He's been on multiple franchises. He was able to sit behind Patrick Mahomes last year and be with Andy Reid in that offense. So I'm sure he got some type of nuggets and tidbits and being able to practice with them throughout the season. So, I mean, we get some experience. I'll say that that's a plus. That's something that I'm okay with rather than having two young guys who really don't have experience. And then we got to lean on a guy to try to win us a football game against somebody like the Eagles with a guy that has not much experience. That's a lot of times that's not a good formula for success. But Carson Wentz, at any moment, he could have a breakout game. Like, we've seen it before. Like he can go out there and throw for 300 plus and 3 touchdowns. And, is he going to do it this Sunday? That's another.
Yeah. Well, he lit up Cincinnati.
He did light up Cincinnati.
He lit up Cincinnati, man. It was looking like he was looking like the second coming in that Cincinnati game. But look, and also he seems to be finding Justin Jefferson just fine. So it's like that's pretty, but that's all you need from him, or at least the number one thing, right?
Right. Yeah. No, that's important, man. Any quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings, you got to be able to get the ball to 18. Not only that, though, you got to be able to get the ball to 3 too, man. Free 3. Jordan Addison, because people sleep on how productive he really is, man. But Jordan Addison can change a game by himself as well. So it's exciting. I think we got something cooking a little bit.
Okay. Well, I see you got something cooking, and we talked about McCarthy.
Yeah.
But with the success that Wentz is having, do you see a scenario where Wentz could keep that starting job, or do you think they're going to go back to McCarthy as soon as possible?
They're going back to McCarthy, and they need to go back to McCarthy. Because this is the thing. We're not winning a Super Bowl with Carson Wentz. Okay. We can be excited about Carson Wentz for these couple games and he's 2-1 and that's great, right? That's cool. But like if you're thinking long term and you're thinking, all right, we're trying to win Super Bowls, we're trying to bring championships to this city, Carson Wentz is not the answer for that. I think most Vikings fans can agree to that. And to sit and watch Carson Wentz play football for the rest of the season to win 9 games, 8 games, maybe barely miss the playoffs or barely make the playoffs and get bounced out, I'm not signing up for that. The Vikings front office sold us on, we drafted a guy. With the 10th pick, we believe in this guy. He was hurt, but he was able to sit behind all last year and learn the playbook and do virtual reality and all this extra, sold us on it. So like, if that's the case, well, we need to see. All right. I don't care what Carson Wentz got going on. We need to see what this kid can do, and you need to put him out there. Now, durability is going to be another question if he tends to go out there again and get hurt, because then that'll be 3 injuries that's keeping him out for time, too long of time. So that's a conversation we'll have to, we'll cross that bridge if we get there. Hopefully we don't, but no, this is JJ McCarthy's team, and the Vikings organization sold us on that. So when Carson wins, when JJ's 100%, it's time for him to go out there and play.
I hear you. Well, look, I do know the Vikings have had some, other than just McCarthy, they have had some injuries, especially on their O-line. Yeah. You think they're going to be able to protect whoever's behind the center?
Yeah. So my answer is I'll say right? I do believe they can. It's crazy. Last week, we put together some makeshift offensive line. Not last week, but the week before. Sorry, we were on a bye last week, but the week before against the Browns, a makeshift offensive line. We had a guy that never played center because he's a natural tackle and guard, played center for the first time in Blake Brandell and did amazing at it. We had some guy, Justin School, who has been horrible. But he had to play right tackle this time instead of stepping in for left tackle that he's been doing recently. So this offensive line was just kind of all over the place, and they wound up playing the best game so far from the Vikings offensive line this season, which is crazy to think about against a Browns defensive line, which we thought we were like, yo, we're going into this game with these guys as the line, bro. This is about to get nasty. Like, bro, Carson Wentz is about to get his face stomped into the turf today. And they actually did good. So I say that to say, yeah, the answer is yeah, because I think when we get fully healthy, I believe that, we were projected to have one of the, at least a top 8 offensive line this season with the free agents that we brought in with Kelly and Will Fries, and then having Christian Darrisaw, Brian O'Neill. And then obviously we went with our first pick in the draft. In our first round pick, we went with a guy from Ohio State and Donovan Jackson. I mean, yeah, this offensive line going to be straight, man. We're going to be good. They just got to mesh. They got to mesh it, man.
I hear you. Well, look, let's move over real quick to the other side of the ball, because it looks like Quinyon Mitchell is going to play for us on Sunday. So he will line up at cornerback. So he's probably going to get a healthy dose of Jefferson.
Yeah.
But on the other side of the ball, we got Keely Ringo and Adoree Jackson. And it's not good, and it pretty much I know Jefferson's a stud, and it's like, all right, I know that, and at this point it really doesn't matter who else you have on your in your wide receiver room, whoever you got. The wide receiver assistant, the guy that carries the bags, they're going to have a game against Ringo and Jackson. But realistically, though, you look at the rest of that offense, and I guess who should Eagles fans really be worried about when you're looking at players not just Justin Jefferson?
I'm going to say Jordan Addison is going to be one. Jordan Addison is somebody who you definitely want to pay attention to. And in the running game, Jordan Mason, he hasn't really gone off so far, but he's one of those players that can at any moment. Now, I think it's a bad matchup for him to do it this week against you guys, especially if Carter's going to be in, because Carter's playing, right? I believe he's scheduled to play.
It looks like he's going to go. Yep.
So, there's going to be some resistance there. So if I had to pick a player, I would say him and then TJ Hawkinson, the tight end, because Carson Wentz loves targeting the tight end, and he's getting our tight end more involved. So that's somebody. That's what I would say. I would say Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson. Definitely pass game. Okay,
and while I got you here, I do want to talk a little bit about that Minnesota defense, because right now sixth in total defense, 3rd in points allowed. Man, I mean y'all pretty impressive, especially what y'all doing against the pass. And so at this point, how do you plan on stopping Jalen Hurts? Which honestly hasn't been that hard.
I'm about to say, yeah. Just play, you know what I'm saying? But and I like Jalen Hurts, by the way. I have nothing against him. I think Jalen Hurts is a good player. I think certain Eagles fans underappreciate what Jalen Hurts actually brings to the table. But that's neither here nor there. I think the Vikings defense, if we just play our game, he's really, what I worry about is every time I remember playing you guys while Jalen Hurts has been the quarterback, is making sure we don't allow him to extend plays and get out of the pocket and then be able to get these 8-yard runs, 9-yard runs, 10-yard runs where they're just off schedule, but they gas you though. Like you got him at 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, and then he takes off and gains 12. And it's just, and it happens over and over again. That's my memory from the last time we played y'all, and I don't like it, right? So it's one of those deals. I think we need to stop that. Not so much his arm and what he's going to do in the air. I'm more concerned about the legs and containing that part of his game.
Now, and that being said, trying to stop Jalen Hurts, but also trying to stop Saquon Barkley. How does Minnesota plan to stop Barkley?
So we have a plus coming back, which is Blake Cashman, our starting linebacker, which is huge. Like when he's in, it's a world of difference of being able to stop the run. He's a big part of us being able to stop the run. So I think him coming in is going to help. I think Barkley's in that category of you can't stop him, you can just slow him down. You know what I'm saying? Like he's one of those players. There is no such thing as just eliminating him from the game. He's going to do something, even if it's just one big run that get y'all in field position or whatever, or get y'all in field goal position or whatever. But yeah, I'm just hoping we be aggressive in the linebacker part of the field, and Blake Cashman gonna make some impact there for sure.
Nice. Well, look, a rule on the Jonesy and Brown show: we have abolished predictions. We don't do predictions, but we do expectations.
Okay.
So, Rap, what is your expectation for Sunday?
So my expectation is for the Vikings to win, first of all. All right, that's the first expectation right there. Yeah, we're gonna start right there.
All right.
I think it's gonna be 27-20.
Mm-hmm.
I got us winning by a touchdown. And yes, that's the Vikings fan in me, but I think we can put up those type of points. And then watching you guys drop 2 in a row, there's a lot that's exciting for us. That can mean, but that could also mean bad news for us, because the chances of you guys losing 3 in a row, being that you guys are a championship caliber team, is probably slim to none. Usually teams like that, like the Eagles or any team that's good like that, that's well coached and things, they lose 2, okay. But after that, they're like, nah, we regrouping, bro. We about to go back out here and start handling business again. We tripping. And now we're in the way of that. So I hope we can make y'all drop 3. I'm going 27-20, but I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a really good game. I'm excited. Hopefully y'all don't blow us out, because I can't stand the Eagles, man. Nothing against you, but the Eagles, man, they just, because we can't beat them. Every time we play y'all, I feel like we lose. Ever since the NFC Championship game in 2017, I just got bad taste in my mouth. That's all.
I understand. Well, and despite the fact that I have enjoyed these couple of minutes talking with you, and I
absolutely,
I like your work, and you seem to be a very, just a down to earth brother, man.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I'm gonna enjoy if we get this win and just rubbing it in your face and just giving you all the thing, pretty much personifying everything that you probably hate about us and our fans. It is what it is.
Yeah, no, that's a fact.
But real quick, before I let you go, let people know how they can reach you and where they can find your work.
Yeah, man, you can find me on Vocal Vike. That's VOCALVIKE, Vocal Vike. I'm on Instagram. I'm on X. And then YouTube, obviously. That's my main platform, is YouTube. And then I also have another show I do called Purple Parlor. So if you into Viking stuff or just football stuff in general, like my thing is this, like, even though I'm a Viking centric channel, I tap in with a lot of people. Like now I'm gonna be tapped in with you all the time. I want to hear what you got to say. Y'all can be playing the Giants. It doesn't matter. Like I want to hear what you got to say about the week. I want to hear what you got going on, how you feeling, what's the vibe. So, I'm one of those guys. And if you're like that, tap in with me, hit the subscribe button, because I guarantee you there will be at some point where we talk about something that you can relate to, or if it's just not even the conversation, there's somebody in my community I know for a fact when it comes to the chat and stuff like that you will relate to, So shout out to everybody though that's tapping into this. And hit me up. Hit your boy RAP up, man.
All right, man. Rap from Vocal Vike. Appreciate you, good brother. Thank you, sir.
I'll at you, brother.